the impact they're having on the sisters these days. What what message would you have for the sisters out there? There's a lot of sisters that listen to this program. Sometimes they may think you come down hard on them, but we're in an era where plastic is everywhere. Black women are getting more face jobs, ass jobs, boob jobs, fat sucked out of their belly, fat sucked out of here, sucked out of there, waist, all types of. I mean, I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of women they'll tell you this is my body. I could do what I want with it. Why the hell are you so
Yeah.
worried about my body?
Right.
Talk to our culture, Dr. Valentine. We damn sure need some advice from an elder.
Well, I'm not sure what to tell the young sisters today or the young brothers at this point. I know what to tell them if they're ready to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our young people today have been told they don't need to listen.
Right.
Remember, the whole strategy of taking over the minds of our children started back in the 60s when a movie called Porgy's hit the screen. Most people don't know what that movie meant to actually change the perception of authority in our society, or movies such as that. Porgy's essentially showed authority, like your father, your mother, the teacher, and so forth, as imbeciles, as fools, as people that can be easily tricked by the smarter young people. And during that time, there was a man named Theodore Adorno who was dealing with an institute over at Stanford University. And Theodore Adorno, along with Rothschild, who created the Beatles and brought them over, did their own think tank again and came up with the resolution that we needed to separate the youth from the adults in their lives, because that would be easier. It would be easier for us to groom the future we want by making sure the children are estranged from their parents. So where we got Leave It to Beaver, and the father and the mother were this staple in the family where the children took the wisdom from them, their elders. Now the wisdom came from amongst themselves based upon what was fed to them in the entertainment genre. So once that happened, once the children began to feel that they were smarter than their adults, it was easier for them to create a niche for that age group. And that's when the teenager was born. There were no such things as teenagers back in the 50s and going into the early 60s.
Wow.
That was a creature that was created in order to estrange them. Then they gave them their own culture. They began taking black music or race music, and the race music would then spread for the white children. They began to get the spirit, because most of our music came out of the church, came out of our own feelings, the blues, so forth. And the white children began going across the tracks to get their groove, to get their shot of soul. And so race music began to be the foundation for them to now nurture a whole crop of this creature called the teenager and give them an identity separate from their parent, because then the parent would then give them the wisdom, give them their own family's tradition. They didn't want any connection to family. You see what feminism and communism and socialism and the rest of this Marxism did? It was about estranging the children from the parents, because the parents were too old and they're old thinking and so forth. When you have all these years of wisdom are now told that that's a fool. That's an old fool. He doesn't know. He doesn't, you made fun of him. You make fun of her. And the elders are the ones now were relegated to the category of buffoons or obsolete. And so from that point forward, they began to nurture this teenager into this new kind of entity that would then follow the stream through entertainment, because remember, they began to blow entertainment up with Elvis Presley and the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and these creatures who were actually playing black music, really in a sorry ass way. But what happened was they were cultivating that mindset. So today, it's very easy for children to be estranged from their parents, because they have this venue prepared for them. And they always do it with the music. They stole our music, they stopped it at Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they created this other niche that separated us completely. But when hip hop came, hip hop was continuing the reality of what the elders were doing. That had to stop. So they stepped in. They had their own think tank back in California that said we needed to get this prison industrial complex up so that we could control the mindset of the new generation. And rap was born. So most people don't understand what is really happening to us when we start speaking about how do we talk to our young ladies. How do we tell them to stop taking things and shoving it in this and putting that there, blowing them up, and then painting their eyebrows to look like essentially the new eyebrows that goes all the way upside your forehead? You know who that was taken from? I told you that in the last webinar that I did, in the last lecture that I did. That's them dealing with the cross-dresser, with the transsexuals and the transgenders, the men who with the RuPaul and them have to exaggerate this female. They just go completely off, and they have the makeup. The makeup you see the women doing today, those were the gays that taught the women how to make up like that. So the women are following gay men in their choices for their the social consciousness, for makeup and so forth.
Wow, that's a woman following a gay man as far as how to look beautiful. Isn't that something?
Indeed. RuPaul and his ilk and those people set the stage, set the pattern. I used to be, I used to go with a sister named Jennifer Lewis. Some people may know her. She's a star in Hollywood. And before she became a star in Hollywood, she used to be a Broadway star. And we used to go to the shows, and behind stage, nothing but gays. And the ones who did the makeup, nothing but gays. And the way that you hear them speaking, let me see, you go, Miss Thing, or hey, Miss, hey, girl, and that's all the gays used to talk to each other like that. Miss Thing is a gay man, a flaming gay talking to another flaming gay. So most of the ways that gay men talk to each other is what they learned from their mothers or the women in their lives, and they just pass that on. And then the people, all the women who never had that, it's just the way that the culture now has been polluted, and we don't have that what we call it, that generational passing of the torch. We do remember as we grow older, these people that you're talking about, the young women talking about, watch, they go all the way out into left field. And then after they start hitting that wall, when they start getting into their 20s, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, and nothing's been happening in their lives, and that wall keeps coming closer before they hit it, and they start seeking that knowledge, and they start seeking like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I need to kind of curb and try to find a way to behave so that I begin to start feeling happy again. And I tell you, I keep telling you, young people, especially the men and the women, it's a natural thing. It's an energy. Men seek power, and to seek power, they give love. Women seek love, and to seek love, they give power. But that exchange is no longer used. They don't know that. They think that it's women thinking about giving up power to a man that they find to be their own. It's, I can't find me a good man. Well, we can't find a good woman either. Okay? So you keep talking about there ain't no good men out there. Hey, listen, maybe there's some good women. Remember, they put the power in your hands, sister. Think about that. You have the power. You talk about male privilege? No, men don't have privilege. Go down to the court system, the family court system, and see how much privilege men have.
Shit.
Okay? You have none. You can choose to have a child or not. You have the last say on whether or not you have a child or not, or you can tell him that you're going to have the child and he can't do anything about it. Why is that? Why is it that he doesn't want it and you want it and you're keeping it, and that's 18 years of his life? And women are doing that. There are things right now that women are doing that ain't cool. And they know that. And the ones who defend it and say that, okay, they kind of keep the responsibility only on the man. very few women really understand about taking responsibility for actions, especially actions that have become passe or not passe, but matter of fact in today's genre of behavior. So, no, the men, they got to step up. I've always said that. You never hear me not say that men have to step up. But when a good man comes into your life, just because he don't have the credentials, he don't have the money, he ain't stepping out of nothing with the spinners or nothing like that. If he's a good man, he's a carpenter. If his fingernails are dirty at the end of the day, but he's a good man. Women today don't look at that. You can check it out. Look at what they go for, and you can go up there and look at the housewives of Atlanta, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and all of these reality shows, and you see these women walking around their house in this pancake makeup as if that's natural. That's the way they walk around the house every day. No, they don't. But they're giving you this virtual reality of what reality is supposed to look like, and women, as well as men, in their own particular code of in the operational genre, we are buying into that crap. We have not shut down. We have not shut down the cyber reality in our lives to get to the real reality within it. We don't even know how to talk to one another anymore. We don't know how to have a conversation unless we get into our iPad and say, okay, what is a conversation? Well, how do I talk to a man? How do I talk to a woman? We need to get the electronic big brother. We tap into the matrix to try to find out how to be human.
I think that's
insane.
I think that's a big problem in Asia. I think they say the men don't even want to have sex with the woman no more.
You know why? Because it's all in the women's favor. They did that purposely. They did it purposely. To put the power in the woman's hand is to control the man, not to control the woman. The state is the actual husband to the woman. That's why they're not getting married today. It's not financially advantageous to young men today to commit, though a lot of them are committing. I kudos to that. There are beautiful relationships out there. But generally, this next generation, they're gone something they call MGTOW, men going their own way. Why? Because women today are not really looking to settle down in the ages when they're the most fertile. They take the ages from 18 to 25 to 26, and they just do their thing. And if you know what I mean, I don't want to sound crass, but just like the guys, if the guys are out there getting it for free, they could say, if you're getting the milk for free, why you want to buy the cow?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the type of thing. We don't have those restraints that the fathers used to put on their daughters and their sons. And the fathers used to put the constraints on their mothers, and the mothers of the daughters used to put the constraints on the son. And we don't have that yin-yang energy anymore in the family structure to teach responsibility. A woman's hymen is her gold. That is her greatest treasure. Today, they said, that ain't nothing. The hell with it. Listen, this is my thing. I'm going to go ahead. You go ahead and get yours, girl, because you don't know you're going to be with one man. You don't understand. That hymen is protected for a reason. That vaginal cavity is protected for a reason. Any sperm that gets in there, the first set of sperm that gets into that vagina after that hymen is broken, you have changed her blood signature energy for her life. For life. That's why in my book, The Wounded Womb, I speak about certain men who have been with women who've had, copious amounts of men, or have been with certain men while they were with their husbands and so forth. And if she had a deeper and more abiding emotional connection to that man, the baby that she has for her husband will look like the man she's having